I don't know about you, Nick, but my adrenaline really gets up during an auction, and you've been in more auctions than anyone I could ever imagine. So we're coming to you today for the expert tips. Of course, Nicole Jacobs, one of the greatest buyers advocates of all time, and who I would have at my auction. What do you do? Give me 5 top tips for an auction.
Absolutely. Look, I love an auction, as you said, and I think the first thing is that you actually have to have a strategy before you get there, because if you don't have a strategy, then you may as well not be there. So go with the limit in mind, and also don't go with a round number. I love to have something a little bit over, because a lot of people do go with that round number. Now, you need to feel really good when you get there as well, so I like to play some power music or have something on.
Oh, like your Rocky psych-up tunes.
I've been known to go home and change if I don't feel like I've got that something with me. And of course, if you're there to buy, you've got to bid. If you don't bid, you're really, it's a very transparent process, the auction. So if you're not there, then you don't have, if you don't bid, then...
So that's it, when you see people sort of hanging around the back fence. No, stand front and centre and get yourself seen.
Be prominent. I like to stand almost on top of the auctioneer so that I can see everybody there. I can see my competition, and I can read those non-verbal cues as to whether they've run out of any, money.
A bit of a mind game too, to say, look, I'm here to buy.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, if it's going to pass in, let it pass into you.
Okay, so if an auction does pass in, and that obviously means that we haven't reached the reserve, and if you are the highest bidder, you'll be the one invited to negotiate, is that right?
Absolutely, and that's a courtesy, which is really important to know. Having it passed into you, you get that 15 minutes right to have a chat with the agent and to negotiate. But I guess the critical thing is, do you go in or do you stay out? So it's really important to know, to read the situation. I love going in because I love to negotiate, and I also love the power of walking out if I haven't got what I want.
So they'll tell you the reserve with you. When you go in to negotiate, they'll tell you the bottom price.
They'll give you the reserve, absolutely. You then get to negotiate. Importantly, if you're going to go inside, make sure you've got somebody outside to let you know what's happening. If you stand on the lawn to negotiate, it's also very powerful, because often the vendor doesn't know what's actually, going on with that person. Are they coming in? Are they going to buy my property? So it's really important then to use different techniques. So maybe not money is the only thing that's actually going to get you across the line. You might actually want to go with settlement terms. So if you know that they've already bought, they're highly motivated to sell, which is really important to know. So you might want to offer shorter settlement terms.
I see, and as you say, if you're inside and someone's outside, you want to know whether it's just the neighbours hanging around or whether the underbidder is standing by to go to.
Yeah, really important to know, because quite often the tactic of the agent is to create that very, the tension, and it's all of a sudden you don't know who you're bidding against, if you're, negotiating against, I should say. And so having somebody outside to give you that heads up, it's just neighbours, so you can have your time. They like it if you've walked in, because they know that they can, a bird in the hand, as they say, is worth more than having someone not there at all.
I think one of the really important things to know too is, as you say, auction conditions are different to normal buying conditions. So in different states it does change a little bit, but basically the house is under auction conditions for a period of time, isn't it?
It is, and in Melbourne that's 3 days, so they will like to get it signed up. It's why when they pass in, you'll see a lot of them have sold straight after, because they like to get that done and dusted so that they can, no cooling off period. That is really important to know if it's under the auction conditions.
And I guess if the house that you love is going to auction and you don't have the gameplay that you've got, get yourself an advocate.
Absolutely. I mean,
or a friend.
Or a friend. Have your support person. Absolutely. If you're not going to use an advocate, have a support person. They can stay outside if you go in, and that's really important. I can't stress that enough.
Great tips. Thank you so much, Nick. I hope to see you front and centre at a very important auction in a couple of weeks.
I hope to be as well.
Thanks.